Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today we will talk about the bulk job scheduling capability in Easy Reporter. This training is presented to you by Spinifex IT. And these are the topics that we will cover today. First is the overview of the enhancement, the new menu items, which are maintain bulk execution and bulk execution, background jobs overview, and we will also have a demo. This enhancement allows for bulk execution of reports in the background, which can be executed immediately or scheduled to run at a later time. This can be facilitated by the new submenu items under Modify or Execute menu, which are Maintain Bulk Execution. This submenu is for setting up reports into bulk execution scenario group. Bulk Execution. This submenu is where users can select the scenario group to run. This enhancement is a helpful option for customers who want to have regular reports run as bulk scheduled processing for regular reporting, such as pay or month end. In Easy Reporter, access the new menu options, namely Maintain Bulk Execution and Bulk Execution, by going to the Modify Execute menu. Let's first discuss more about the Maintain Bulk Execution option. The Maintain Bulk Execution option leads you to the Bulk Execution maintenance screen where you can create, copy, and delete menu items. Use this option to add a scenario folder and link reports with and without variants to that folder. The reports are then grouped in that scenario and will be executed together. These actions, however, are not allowed for Spinifex IT pre-delivered folder. We have a screenshot here of the bulk execution maintenance screen. We will talk more about how to utilize this option in the demo part of this video. Another new menu item in this enhancement is the bulk execution. This is where you select the scenario group to run and provide a background job name. When you click Enter Selections, you will be directed to the Bulk Execution Enter Selection screen. Let's take a closer look at this in the next slide. From this screen, you can choose between the options presented. You can choose to simply use the ones already set up against each report or enter new selection criteria, and how you want the report to be executed in background, whether immediately or scheduled. Another change brought by this enhancement is the bulk execution setup and background job overview. When you select the background job overview menu under Modify or Execute application menu, you will be directed to a screen that displays an overview of the background scheduled reports. So starting 2022 R1 for bulk execution, you need to filter down the run type by bulk run. In the screen, you get to see an overview of all scheduled jobs. Please note that immediate runs will not appear in the background jobs overview screen. When you click Modify Selections, you will be directed to the Bulk Execution Modify Selection screen. And here's a screenshot of the Bulk Execution Modify Selection screen. If the scheduling was previously kicked off using the individual report variants, then you will not be able to modify it. You will need to cancel the existing one and reschedule. Otherwise, you will be able to modify it. Click the Save button and exit. The new selections should take place for the next scheduled run. Lastly, just like any other Easy Reporter report that you kicked off in a background job, you can check more details using transaction SM37. Let's have the demo and see how this enhancement works. This demo will show you the steps in setting up the scenario groups and executing with the available options for this functionality. The bulk job scheduling enhancement introduces two new menu items under Modify or Execute menu. These are Maintain Bulk Execution and Bulk Execution. Start with Maintain Bulk Execution, since this is where you set up your scenario groups. Here in the Bulk Execution maintenance screen, you can create, copy and delete menu items. You also have the save icon here to save your settings. These actions, however, are not allowed for Spinifex IT pre-delivered folder. When you try to do so, you will get this notification. Now let's create a scenario group by first selecting a main folder and then select the create icon. We are creating a new scenario group, so we will choose subfolder. Then provide a description or label for your group. And then click Save. We now have the newly created group folder here. Now let's add reports to the scenario group folder by clicking Create again, and this time we will select Report Link. Provide a description or label for your report. Click Add to Report, and then select the report that you want to include in the scenario folder. You can link reports with or without variants, and then click Save. Let's add another report by clicking the Create icon again, and then click Report Link, and then we will provide a label or description, and then we will add the report, now this time the report that we selected has a variant, and then click Save. These reports are then grouped in this scenario and they will be executed together. Now, just to show you the delete option, you can either delete an item or delete a subfolder. Now, when you delete a subfolder, the contents of that folder will also be deleted. But for this demo, we will not delete anything. After setting up your scenario group, we will proceed to bulk execution. In here, you can select the scenario group that you want to run and provide a background job name. So for this example, we will choose the one that we just created, which is LMS_bulk execution. And then let's type in the job name here. Next, click Enter Selections. When you click Enter Selections, you will be directed to the Bulk Execution Enter Selection screen. From here, you can choose to enter a new selection criteria or simply use the one that you have from the individual report variants. So let's say we are choosing Enter Date and Employee selections for execution, and we will use QM for payroll. And then our period will just be today. For select employees, we will have QM for payroll again. And for this one, let's execute in background immediately. And then we can go ahead and check the job details by using transaction SM37. In here, we can see the details like job created by, job status, and execution date. And so here's the job that we ran. It produces 2 rows because we have 2 reports under that scenario group. And when you click the spool list icon, it will lead you to the report output. And here's the second report that we executed. Now let's have another run, and this time the reports included have variants. We just have the same steps, starting with selecting the group. Next is enter the job name. For this example, we have LMS_BE test 1. Click Enter Selections. We will then select the first option since we are executing reports with variants. And let's execute in background immediately. Using transaction SM37, let's go to Job Overview. And let's click Refresh to update the screen. And this is the job that we executed. For this part of the demo, we will do a scheduled bulk execution. So we are here in the bulk execution screen. We already have the scenario group and the job name. Now let's click Enter Selections. And for this example, we are setting up the selection criteria. Then let's click Execution in Background Schedule. So in here, you just provide the general job information. And you can set when you want to start the job. So it can be immediately or you can define a start date and time. So let's just say for this, we want to set the start date and time. So as you can see here, we have the background job scheduled successfully. Now let's check it in the job overview. And here's the scheduled job. If you want to see the reports that have been executed and you want to maintain any of those reports, you can actually go to the background job overview. In here, filter the run type to bulk run. Again, please note that the immediate runs will not appear in the background job overview. And here's the job that we scheduled. If you can recall, the reports in this job or scenario group have selection criteria. Now you have the option to change the selections by clicking the Modify Selections button. This will lead you to the Modify Selection screen and you can change or update the selection criteria here. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching.